As I'm looking around, I'm noting a lot of other heroes are around here. Maybe it's like their day off or something and they don't actually count. That or nobody figures that Vibe and Gypsy are worth mentioning. Well, with the damage to the reactor, the safe thing to do is to evacuate the station, and Boomerang is thinking the same thing, but Flag is not leaving the other members of the team behind if he can help it. They're scum, but they're his scum. Well, it looks like the scum isn't going to be able to make it past all the radiation doors. Don't worry about that. I've read enough comic books to know you're going to get new superpowers because of this. Guaranteed. Funny enough, it's Captain Atom who winds up coming to their rescue. With his radiation-absorbing powers, he was heading that way anyway. Always good to stop and do a good deed on the way, though. But not too many of them. Things will get real screwed up for Captain Atom if they wind up promoting him to Major. But the Justice League starts to piece together what's going on here. This was not an accident. Not even a boat accident. While making their escape, Task Force X runs into some superheroes. Atom Smasher, and no doubt more worrying, one dressed like a knight and the other dressed like he's going to rob a stagecoach. Annihilator is more than enough to keep Atom Smasher busy, so it just leaves the two guys who looks like they're standing in line in a film studio commissary. Really, what's Dirk the Daring even doing here anyway? His superpower is he has a sword. $300 and a trip to the mall could make you his arch nemesis. And it's not as if he's showing off his impressive skill with it here. He's just swinging it around and not hitting anybody. At least the cowboy manages to catch 3 of them in his lasso. That shows some skill. It doesn't last long, but 4-on-1 and not winning is not shameful, when your superpower is 2 guns and a rope. Shining Knight must know this, too, because he runs in there swinging his sword in a way that's clearly going to horribly kill somebody if it connects. When you made him a hero, did you think about maybe giving him a taser or something so that his choices are not going to be limited to let them get away or cleave them in two? Anyway, in a sentence I never thought I'd have to say, the supervillains escape because they lock up the knight and beat up the cowboy. That just leaves John between them and the exit, although he makes short work of them rather quickly. It's only the Annihilator that gives him trouble. He's half the man he used to be now. It's not enough to kill him, of course, but he knows that he might need some help here, so he calls in Green Lantern. But before he can arrive, Plastique threatens to drop a bomb in Atom Smasher's mouth. At the beginning, when the whole Superman thing came up, she had said that in a pinch she would stop the superheroes by threatening to kill a hostage, so it looks like she's going to deliver on that. But Captain Atom shows up and interferes, and Deadshot, being the gentleman that he is, shoots the explosive, catching Plastique in the blast. I had noted there was some chemistry between the two of them, but I was not meaning this kind. They make their getaway, and we discover that Task Force X works for Cadmus. The previous episode with the meeting had Tala bring up some operation that needed additional resources, and it seems this was what she was talking about. Task Force X is committed to 5 years of projects like this, all doing Cadmus's dirty work.
What's Waller got on you?
Not a thing. Some of us don't have to be blackmailed into serving their country.
Epilogue time. The League finds out the one responsible for giving the inside information to Task Force X, and John is outraged over this and wants to do fairly harsh things to the guy, while Green Lantern tries to yank him back to reality. It comes with an unfortunate truth. This place is so full of people now that the question of trust is moot. It's full of any number of those who could betray them again. What do you plan to do about it? Task Force X is a heist episode. It's just one of those rare times when it's the bad guys who are doing the heist. And like all good heists, this works, and they get away. What helps make it even more interesting, though, is that this allows the villains to have a victory, which is important in 2 ways. First, it shows that Cadmus is an actual threat. Sure, they had a nuke last time, but the Justice League was able to stop it. This, they could not stop. Second, it shows us again that the villains aren't all villains. Many of them are doing this because they truly believe it's the right thing and for the greater good. Cadmus and the JLU want the same thing, but they believe that the other side is an obstacle to that. Colonel Flag, for instance, behaves quite honorably towards the members of his team, even though he could regard them as disposable trash. And he's only doing all of this to protect his country. You may not agree with what he does or what side he's on, but he's no Lex Luthor looking out only for himself. But if you'd like a break from all this Cadmus stuff, in 2 weeks, JLU continues with Double Date.
All hail the Overlord! All hail the Overlord!
Are you out of your blinking head? We gotta go! Did I say leave? Because I meant wait.